This is the latest Audi RS3, and on paper this car is a little bit special. Not only is it the final car on sale to have a 5-cylinder engine, but it's got 400 horsepower, which means it's very fast, and it's festooned in carbon fibre. But for upwards of 62,000 quid, it needs to be special, doesn't it? So let's get out, let's go for a drive, let's see what it's like. Before I get into what this thing's like to drive, I just want to give you a bit of context on where I'm coming from in terms of the hot hatchback, because I've driven some absolute blinders over the years. I'm a big hot hatch guy, okay? Now, my favourite hot hatches have always been those front-wheel drive, limited slip differential, manual gearbox type hatches. This is why I go on endlessly about the Honda Civic Type R. And so this, for me, is very different to what I love from a hot hatch package. Obviously, we've got 400 horsepower, which is great, but we've got four-wheel drive and an automatic gearbox. And traditionally, I've found these sorts of hatches, I don't want to say unexciting, but yeah, they've just not made me please, to use a James May term, in the way that a front-wheel drive hatch has. But I must say, this, for me, is a very different proposition. I think there is a lot to get excited about with this car. And in case it isn't obvious, this is a viciously fast car. 0 to 62 miles an hour in 3.8 seconds. And a top speed, if you have it delimited, of 174 miles an hour. That is outrageous from a hatchback. And I mean, the engine performance is just fantastic. Decent throttle response. Distribution of the performance feels quite linear to me anyway. It doesn't feel particularly boosty. What I would say though is the gearbox down changes are fairly sharp, but the up changes I reckon are a little bit sloppy. They just need to be a touch sharper for my liking. But then, you know, this gearbox is for dual purpose really, isn't it? It's supposed to be an Audi A3 at heart. You're supposed to be able to get around in it, you know, nice and easily on a day-to-day basis. So I suppose there's always going to be some level of compromise with the gearbox, but just the way it deals with the bumps. I mean, I don't know if you could see it there on the camera, but I just hit quite a large bump with some steering lock on, and it doesn't really ever upset the composure of the car. You just have this great confidence that no matter what you chuck at this thing, all 4 contact patches are going to stay in touch with the road surface. It really is quite incredible, the amount of speed that you can carry, just the levels of grip, the performance generally. It's just outrageous, this thing, how competent it is. Now, before we go any further with the review, I just want to talk to you a little bit about our sponsor for this video, and that is Magnitude Finance. Are you in the market for a new car like this Audi RS3 and are wondering how much it will cost to finance it? Then you should check out Magnitude Finance's online calculator. Finding out what your next car could cost takes less than a minute. Simply go to Get a Quote and fill in details about the car and its mileage. You'll then be able to enter the price of the vehicle and select the terms of the finance you're looking for, such as deposit amount, term length, and annual mileage. The online calculator will then churn out a quotation including information on the type of finance and, most importantly, what your monthly payments could look like. As you can see, using Magnitude Finance's online calculator is a quick and easy way of getting a quote for your next car. So head to the link below the like button and go check it out for yourself. Okay, let's test out the performance, shall we? So we've got a couple of buttons here on the steering wheel. The checkered flag takes you straight into performance mode. Now, this car has a thing called an RS torque splitter. What is an RS torque splitter, I hear you ask? It's an ingenious torque vectoring system that uses a separate electronically controlled clutch on each side of the rear drive shaft to move torque to the outside rear wheel when cornering. The benefit? It dials out understeer and helps get the rear turned into corners. So, how well does it work? I tell you what, it really does work nicely. Fast Audis have traditionally had a, should we say, a reputation for understeer. But this thing though just pivots really nicely into corners. There's even been a couple of occasions where it's rotated through the turn and it's felt almost rear-wheel drive, to be honest. This thing does not understeer at all, and the amount of grip is unbelievable. You cannot shake this thing off the road, even when you're going over a big set of bumps and you're kind of turning the wheel at the same time. Really, that should unsettle a car massively, but not so in this thing. It just soaks it up. Steering, for me, it's a bit light, a bit loose. Not really a huge amount of feedback coming through, but you know what? It is accurate. You can place the car nicely, so I'll give it that. Brake pedal feels pretty good as well. Nice and strong when you need it to be. Just dynamically, this is a really properly good package. Not much in the way of body roll. Yeah, you just show it a corner like that and it goes where you want it to. Zero fuss. Now, some people would make the argument that that performance or type of performance is quite sterile, but I don't think it is, because you've got this lovely warbly 5-cylinder engine in the background, and you're just constantly marveling at what it's capable of. This is a different type of fun. Would I say it's engaging? To a point. Like, it's not a driver's car, but it's not supposed to be. Fast Audis have never been about that, have they? What they've been about is assured, competent, grippy, ballistic performance, and that's what this thing does. And you know what? I really like it for it. And that does ask the question, doesn't it? Have we arrived at peak hot hatchback? I think in some respects we have, you know. They certainly don't need to be any faster or grippier than this thing. It's outrageous. And I tell you what, of all the hot hatches on sale, past and present, I'd say this has the best engine of the lot of them. Yeah, it's a compelling thing. I'm not going to lie to you. I think this is what a lot of people want from a hot hatch. Something I wish to point out, my fuel economy, okay, I've been driving rather spiritedly today while we've been filming, as I'm sure you can tell by the overlays, but I've been averaging 19.5 miles to the gallon. Yeah, it's not great, is it? I think in the mixed driving that I've been doing over the last few days, I've seen about 25. But yeah, if fuel economy is important to you, which I'm guessing it's not, because you wouldn't consider a car with a 400 horsepower 5-cylinder engine. But anyway, if it is important to you, you best avoid this one. Yeah. Let's put performance to one side for the moment and just talk about this as a daily driver, because that is a really important aspect of what a hot hatch is about. And I must say, this has been a nice car to get around in over the last few days. It's quiet when you want it to be, it's comfortable, this seat is really supportive, and you can pick your driving position really nicely. You can get low in the car. What I will say is that at times there's been quite a lot of road noise coming into the cabin, especially like when you're doing 70 miles an hour, but it's not too obtrusive. The rest of the cabin, and I tell you what, nice screen here. Apple CarPlay hooks up really, really quickly. It's responsive to use. I like that it's kind of bedded into the dash and not sitting on top of it, because I think these screens sometimes obscure your view out. Wireless phone charger, armrest, nice start button, panoramic sunroof. We've got these two buttons on the steering wheel, one for the performance mode and an RS mode. So you can configure your driver settings in there and save them to this RS button, which is handy. Plenty of space in the back. The Sonos Hi-Fi sounds pretty good. So all round, this is a lovely car to get around in. Is it 70 grand's worth of cabin? Probably not. But you know what? It's well made. There's some nice materials hanging around, so I don't feel too badly shortchanged. It's a good question, isn't it? Is this what I want from a hot hatch? I'm going to say no for the reasons that I explained at the beginning of the video. However, I am here to review this car objectively, and I must say I am deeply impressed. I really like this thing a lot. I think it has buckets of character with that 5-cylinder engine, and I mean, I've explained the performance to you already. I don't need to go over it again. This is really a rather special package. Is it 70 grand's worth of special? Whoa, I don't want to answer that question. No, it's a lot of money, but you know, a good finance deal, and suddenly it doesn't look quite as scary as £70,000. But yeah, nonetheless, if you can get your hands on one of these, if it's within your budget, then you're getting quite possibly one of the best hot hatches ever made. I don't think the possibly was fair. This is most definitely one of the best hot hatches ever made. There we go. It is that good. I'd still rather have a Type R though. Fight me in the comments. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. No, but seriously, it's a cracking car. Jokes aside, I really like this thing. And yeah, if you've picked one of these up or you're about to get one, fair play. This is a proper thing.